Fine. If the screen is visible and you can hear me properly, I request you to kindly type Y in a chat box so that I'll get a confirmation that you can see the screen very well and I'm audible properly. Please type Y in a chat box if you can see the screen, and if I'm audible, please type Y in a chat box. Great. I got the quick responses and I'll be appreciating that. Thank you very much for the quick responses. Well, the session which we are going to conduct today, that's about presentation, and it will have many more aspects which can be useful for you in your personal as well as professional life. And this session will highlight some important aspects where we goof off, where we make mistakes, and what to be done, what should be ignored, and what are the areas of importance where we should be focused upon. So there are certain great contents, but the presentation skills, if it is not great, then we can make it as a boring content. If we have the great presentation skills, then average content or a dry content, we can make it more interesting as well. So I'll share certain secrets according to the human psychology, how many minutes people can listen to us, how many minutes people can be with us, and what is the maximum capacity of people to gather the information, store the knowledge, and everything will be there. So CAD will be out of the box very soon. I expect the same cooperation which was there in the last sessions, where we conducted sessions for negotiation skills, self-awareness, and many more. So I expect the same coordination and cooperation from you so that we can have great learning from each other. So what is presentation? Let's move to the next slide, and next slide will bring us the more information. What is presentation? It's a process of demonstrating something. If I'm a sales guy, if I'm a person of marketing, if I'm a doctor, if I have to sell something, and if I have to convince someone with certain demonstration, with proving something, with some experiments, I have to show something. For example, if I'm a person of a marketing from Eureka Forbes, I believe that their marketing strategy is one of the best in India. That is one of the fastest moving consumer goods company, FMCG. That's one of the interesting marketing teams we can say. So demonstration, it's a part in the presentation. They start with the sentences that most of the diseases are because of, what do you say, it's because of water. So here they attack directly on the psychology of the customers, the clients, and they take care of the emotions of the customers. So demonstration is something that you are showing something. Let's say that we are in science hall, we are in a lab, and we are experimenting something. If I'm in a training session and I'm training people for Microsoft Excel, I'm training people to understand, Google spreadsheet or something else. I'm demonstrating something. That's a presentation. If I have to share some experience, if I have to share my opinion, if I have to share my knowledge, which I possess, if people ask me, what is your feedback? What is your opinion? And after training sessions, I'm giving oral feedback. That is also a presentation. If I'm a judge and people are performing in front of me, that performance is also presentation. If I'm a newsreader or the anchor, and I'm performing in front of the listeners, that is also presentation. If I'm a motivational speaker and I am speaking about motivation, if I'm a speaker and I'm talking about time management, stress management, or some other soft skills, that is also presentation. I would like to inspire people with certain stories to be shared on the screen. That is also presentation. If I'm a teacher, if I'm a trainer, that is also presentation. If I'm talking to my daughter, if I'm telling her how to cross the road, I'm showing her with some examples. I'm telling her that you have to look at right hand side, then left hand side, and then you have to cross the road. You have to use the zebra crossing. That's also a demonstration. It is also presentation. If I'm a student and I'm in the process of interviewer is also presenting something by asking me questions, and I'm sharing my knowledge. I'm answering him or her. That is also presentation. So presentation, it's all about selling your ideas, selling your views, and making people convinced according to you, what do you feel, what is your opinion, and how people will believe you. If you have the great presentation skills, they can believe you. But before that, let us understand, in a day, since morning till evening time, since we get up in the morning till the time we sleep, every single minute, we are in the process of presentation. If I'm a teacher and there is a program going on, let's take an example that yesterday there was a Women's Day, and if I have to speak about that, If I have to address my audience and they are eagerly waiting for me to speak, that is also presentation. If I'm a boss of a team and I'm in a meeting and I'm conducting a team meeting, I'm asking certain questions and I'm sharing the information about management information system, that is also presentation. So since morning time till the late night, we are involved in the process of presentation. So presentation, it is all about selling your views. What do you feel? And what do you feel? It has to be convinced. I mean to say, people should be convinced according to your opinion. That's a presentation. And sometimes presentation has to be done to share the information. Sometimes presentation has to be done to cheer the people. Sometimes it is for the entertainment purpose. We watch the movie, actors are performing, that is also presentation. If we are in Filmfare Awards, they are performing, anchor is saying something, that is also presentation. If I'm a magician and I'm performing certain tricks, that is also presentation. If I'm a politician and I'm speaking, or audience are listening to me, maybe online, offline, whatever it may be, but that is also presentation. So I have to ensure that during my presentation, I have to be careful with certain areas. I have to be careful in understanding the people who can be my potential hijackers. How do I identify that? I have certain techniques. I'll be sharing it with you. So this is all about presentation. So let's move to the next slide and let us understand how can we have the presentation which can have huge impact, and that will be long lasting impact. If impact has to be there, people will follow you definitely if you have great presentation skills. People will listen to you. There are certain people, they may call you as an ideal personality. They may call their motivation. They may call you as their motivation. But when, if you have some presentation skills, and which are these presentation skills, we are going to see. Now today we'll be talking most of the things about the to do things about presentation. There are certain things which have to be avoided, which should be ignored. We'll talk about that as well, but here we'll focus on the maximum things which have to be done or which have to be included in a presentation. I've seen many people who have huge amount of talent. They have information, they have knowledge, but while speaking to the audience, unfortunately they make unnecessary sound of many people begin their words with it's quite natural because it's quite natural because it is the habit we have been taking since our childhood. However, if we use such kind of in the presentation, if the audience are from other nation, is known as a feelers in the presentation. In the interview process, if I make maximum I will never get the opportunity to take care of the international clients or customers. The reason is simple. When we use in the presentation, they feel that it's a feelers, and feelers, it means I'm taking it because I don't remember the sentences, or I may be a liar, or I don't have that much information. In our nation, that's fine, but if you're talking about the presentation in front of the people who are non-native, means not Indian, not an Indian person, not an Indian people, I mean to say. So in this scenario, you have to avoid, we'll be talking about all these things. So let's move to the next slide, and next slide will bring us many important aspects. What is important in the presentation? The first thing in the presentation, that a presenter should have an proper eye contact, should have have a rotational eye contact, I mean to say. Now let's take an example. We have 37 participants. If I'm in your college and you are sitting there, now most probably your audience will not sit at one place. They will definitely take care of sitting in a group, because human psychology always looks for the comfort zone. And I'm sure teacher must be agree with the statements which I have made here. Most of the students of the teachers, they will occupy the last benches first. If I'm in a birthday party, people will find their friends first, because we are always looking for the comfort zone. Therefore you will find that your audience is not at one place. They will sit in a different columns of Microsoft Excel. They may sit in a different rows, and they will ensure that they are sitting along with their friends. So here they will have different groups, but people will not sit together. So here in a presentation, in effective presentation, we'll have to ensure that our eye contact is like a pendulum of a clock. Pendulum, it moves like this, pendulum of the clock. It doesn't get fixed at one place. Similarly, a great presenter will always have rotational eye contact, because as per the human psychology, if you have fixed eye contact, either that person will get scared, why is this person is staring at me, looking, staring, watching, these are the words in English which have huge difference. If I have a glance, it means I'm just moving my face like this, I'm moving my eyes like this, that's a glance. If I watch at particular thing continuously, that becomes a staring. And staring continuously at one particular person, it is the bad impact in the presentation. Therefore ensure that you do not have proper eye contact directly on only one person or only one group. Ensure to have your eye contact rotational. Eye contact, it's an essential part of body language. Let me prove this. I request everyone to open your chat box. Now you are giving only a minute, and there is one activity I want you to do it. Open your chat box. Here also I will open my chat box. I want you to remember the Bollywood songs. Most of us love Bollywood. In Bollywood, there are 2,500 movies they get produced every year. During this pandemic, the number might be different, but every year there are so many movies. Now, I want you to remember the songs in Bollywood which are related to eyes, and type those songs in a chat box. For example, recent uh, recent song Aakh Mare, second one Mast Mast Donain, that type I told you. I want you to type the songs which you remember from the Bollywood, but those eyes, I mean to say, those songs should be related to eyes. Any song. If you take a look at 80s song, you can say Akhiyo ke jharo kaise, मैंने देखा जो सावरे, uh, Aakh Mare, the recent one, it was old one as well. I request everyone, you are there with 1 minute, and I want you to type the songs which are related to eyes. Don't worry, we are not going to have an examination about your knowledge in the Bollywood industry. I just want to say, wow, fantastic. Tere Naina Bade Katil. Shubham says Naina Katil. Okay, Jaya Sudha says uh, Galla song, Rab ne bana di jodi song. Okay. Aakh hai bhari bhari. Namdev Durve is saying, wow, fantastic. That's fantastic. Then Kalyani wants to say something. Then we have Sanket ji. There are so many people, they can respond. And I can see that, believe me, at least you know 4 to 5 songs. You know at least 4 to 5 different songs. The reason is simple. Maximum songs in Bollywood which are related to eyes. If I rephrase this question and if I ask you to type the songs which are related to foot or a feet, I'm sure none of us will find such songs. The writer in the, I mean to say, writer or director in the movie will always ensure to have songs which are related to eyes. There are no other limbs or no other aspects of songs, but there is a second thing, that there might be many songs on moon also, but the first number, it goes to eyes. What is the reason that many directors, they produce such kind of songs which are related to eyes? What is the reason that poets always believe that songs are related to eyes which are most in numbers? The reason is simple. Okay, the reason is simple. The reason is simple, that many people, they always look in your eyes when you talk. It's been said that eye contact, it's an essential part of body language. In India, when we have eye contact with the elders, there are certain regional or areas or regions where people do not love to have eye contact with the elders. Specific elders, they try to ask people not to have an eye contact. They say बदतमीज, शर्म नहीं आती, बड़ों से आंखें मिला के बात करते हो. But if I don't have an eye contact in other nations or in corporate world, they consider me as a liar. They consider me as a person with the inappropriate knowledge or the half information. Therefore eye contact, it's an essential. However, we should be able to use the eye contact properly. We have to ensure that our eye contact has to be a rotational one. It should not be fixed. It should be like a pendulum of a watch, a clock, I mean to say. You have an eye contact with particular group for few seconds, ensure not to have eye contact more than 15 seconds. Then you have to move your eye contact to the next person, and this will ensure that everybody is attending your session carefully. What are you saying? It will be helpful. Now my tip to all the students here who will be appearing in the interview, let's say that there are more than 2 interviewers, and someone of them is asking you question. Most of the youngsters, they make a mistake that they have the fixed eye contact with the person who has asked them the questions. It is wrong one, because other personality may get hurt. And every time, always remember one sentence: interviewer is like a Jaykant Shikre. कुछ भी करने का, लेकिन जयकांत शिकरे का ego hurt नहीं करने का. That was the sentence in the movie Singham. Similarly, you have to ensure that even the question has been asked by someone else, you have to answer with the rotational eye contact. Look at the other person as well. Show him that I give you respect as well. I have respect for you as well. Similarly, when you are in a presentation, and presentation, it is not only about teacher is teaching students. But when you are in presentation, when you're talking to people, always ensure to have eye contact whenever it is essential, and your eye contact has to be rotational. Ensure not to have the fixed eye contact. Few years before, we had a different training approach, we had different training style, we had knowledgeable teachers, and still we have knowledgeable teachers. However, today's teachers, they have been taught about the eye contact and its importance. Therefore, most of the students are enjoying learning. The reason is simple: modern teachers ensure that they have rotational eye contact. Now, in the second point, I want you to understand that impactful presentation can be done if you have comfortable and appropriate grooming. And this is not only for the presentation, it is as per your behavior as well. Let me tell you, if I'm in a training session and I'm going there with the attire like Bermudas and t-shirt, believe me, that may be my grooming, but that will be considered as inappropriate grooming, because I'm going to a presentation and I'm using the clothes or the style which is not suitable. If I'm a sport teacher and I am going there with some sport dress, that's fine. If I'm going with t-shirt, and if I'm going there with certain, what do you say, sports pants, that's fine. Nowadays there are many females who are working. Yesterday we've seen Women's Day, and women are there everywhere. They are working as a conductor. Now let us assume that there is a girl who is a pilot, and somebody has forced us to wear only sari. Now wearing sari, that's a comfortable attire, that's a beautiful one, girls look beautiful in that, there is no second opinion about that. But her profession will not help her to wear sari and run that flight. Therefore, she needs to have different grooming according to the requirement, according to the situation. If I'm in a wedding scenario and there I'm going in a Bermuda t-shirt, it is not appropriate according to the situation. Therefore, ensure that you have to be comfortable in your attire. Many people feel that wearing ties and coat, that is appropriate. I have a second opinion about that. I have a different opinion. Attire is something which you feel comfortable in, so ensure that you should be comfortable. But if a particular scenario needs a dress code, that you need to be wearing coat, tie, blazer, in that case you need to be in that. Though you are not feeling comfortable, it is the part of the process. They are asking you to follow the dress code. So presenter should be comfortable, and presenter should be following the rules as well. And appropriate grooming, it means appropriate attire, as per the needs and as per the requirement of the situation. You have to ensure that you do not stick to the dais. I have seen many trainers, many teachers, they do not leave the dais, and that fixed standing style, they are digging their own grave. Science says that a person who stands more than 7 minutes at one particular place, he is killing his backbone and the knees. He is reducing the age of his knees and the backbone as well. And if a person is sitting at more than 90 minutes at one place, that is also equally dangerous. So trainers, teachers, and all the people, you have to ensure that you should take a break after 90 minutes anyhow. Maximum capacity of concentration of human being is that 7 minutes. After 7 minutes, people lose a concentration. So it's up to you. Use a rotational eye contact, take a name of the participant, talk to them, have some activities. Which are the activities, I'll let you know. But here you have to ensure that you should not stick to the dais for a long time. You keep walking. Walking exercise will keep you healthy. If you are a teacher, I can see that most of the teachers, they stand at one place for a long time, and in the evening they complain that I have pains, terrible pains in my feet. They complain. It's quite natural, because you are standing there for a long time. So stand, but ensure that you keep walking, and you have to walk in between your audience. If you have to walk in between your participants, that will definitely help you. And here, after that, if you have any PPT, if you have any PDF can be run as PPT. You just need to use Control and L. L for lamp, Control L as a shortcut key. This will be shown as a PPT. So any PDF can be shown as a PPT. You just need to use Control L. And if you do not remember this, you may call me in future as well. So you can have your information to be shown to the audience. And if you have certain slideshows, ensure that notes are attached to the slides. Notes are attached to the slides. Now let me tell you, how do I attach notes to the slide? Let me just minimize this window. Give me a moment. I'll minimize this window. I'll come here, and here you can see that this is my Google Drive. This is my Google Drive. Now I have to design a PPT. What am I doing? I'm clicking on new, and here I'm clicking on Google Slides. I'm clicking on Google Slides. Now, when I click on Google Slides, it is equivalent to the PowerPoint PPT. And here, whatever you type, that's your content. But here, there are notes for me. These are the speaker notes. And many people are aware that these speaker notes can be typed. But here, in a modern way, just don't need to type and wasting your time. Come to Tools tab, click on Voice Typing, and here I'll speak now. Now I'll speak 2 to 3 sentences English, one sentence in Hindi, and one sentence in Marathi. Pay attention. Good morning, guys. This is the best opportunity where I can speak fast, but still system has been typing the notes for me. And believe me, these notes can be seen only by me, not by my audience. I can hide these notes and people cannot see these notes. So while running my PPT, I can refer certain things. I can refer certain numbers. I can refer certain formulas. And you can see that I'm speaking fastly, but still system has been managing my speed. Now I'll speak slowly and system has been managing my speed as well. I'll stop in English and I will use these notes in Hindi or Marathi. I'll stop it here. Now you can see that I'll use Hindi or Marathi. Just click here, and here I'll just change the language. By default, it will be English. Need to come down, need to scroll down, and here you can see that Marathi, Hindi. Let's assume that I need to attach certain notes in my own language, Marathi. नमस्ते मित्रांनो, इथे आपण बघू शकताय की मी काही नोट्स अटॅच करतोय आणि मी मराठीत बोलतोय, तरी देखील सिस्टम माझ्यासाठी मराठीत टाइप करून देत आहे. जाणीवपूर्वक काही शब्द मी इंग्रजीत बोलतोय, तरी देखील सिस्टम मला इंग्रजीत टाइप करून देत आहे. We have certain participants in English, I mean to say, which are from non-Maharashtra background. So I'll attach certain notes for them in Hindi as well. How to do it? Pay attention. Here I'll just change the language, Hindi, and I'll click here. नमस्ते दोस्तों, आप यहाँ पे स्क्रीन पे देख सकते हो, बॉटम लेफ्ट साइड पे आप देख सकते हो कि जहाँ पे मैं हिंदी में बोलने की कोशिश कर रहा हूँ, मैं जानबूझ के यहाँ पे हिंदी में जोर से थोड़ी वेग से बोलने की कोशिश कर रहा हूँ, बट सिस्टम मेरे लिए कोई दिक्कत मायने नहीं रखती है. कोई दिक्कत के बिना यहाँ पे सिस्टम मुझे बहुत ही बढ़िया टाइप करके दे रहा है, मैं भी रुकता हूँ. These are the options where you can type the notes, and believe me, these notes will not be shown to your audience. This will be only on your computer if you are showing any presentation. So attach such kind of notes to the slides. This is the modern way of presentation. However, many people are not aware. This cannot be done in your Microsoft PowerPoint, but this can be done in Google Slides. No need to type and waste. No need to give pains to your fingers. Just speak something and system will type notes for you. And these notes will not be shown to your audience. These notes will be hidden. These notes will be shown only on your screen. It will not be shown on your projector. So you can refer something, you can refer certain formulas. If there are hard things, there are certain hard things you have to explain, then you can refer to the notes. That's a beautiful way where you can have impactful presentation by referring certain notes. Now, one more point here. When we have more information, when we have knowledge, sometimes we make mistakes that we become over appeared. And here we make another mistake is that we do not have perfect happiness there. How do you make mistake? We become aggressive. I have seen certain trainers, I have seen certain teachers, they use this and they try to get the attention of people. That's known as aggressive body language. I have seen some people in corporate industry in a training team meeting, they pat the back of people unnecessary. I have seen some people, they say de tali, and they have a tali with each other, and they do it maybe by purpose or without purpose, but people get hurt. That is called as aggressive body language. Ensure to have your stance well. Make a proper distance between you and the audience. Do not be at the dais for a long time. If you have collar mic available, use that. If your voice can be heard by people who are sitting behind, that's a perfect one. If cannot be done, ensure that you are walking, and when you are walking, it's an exercise for your heart. A person who walks continuously will never get tired for a long time. I always do the same thing in my training sessions because we do not get time to have a workout and other things. So keep walking and have a proper distance between you and other people. Do not have fixed eye contact, because fixed eye contact, that is also a part of aggression. I have seen certain youngsters while presentations, they stand and they fold their one foot and they touch it to the wall. If you have to understand how many teachers are doing this, go to any classroom and check the area which is near the door, or maybe near the blackboard or whiteboard. You will find certain marks of the shoes. That is also dangerous for you as a teacher or a trainer if you are in a presentation. In a same scenario, if interviewers are asking you to do certain things and interviewers are asking you to perform some things, for example, if I'm applying for a job of a trainer or a team manager, then he or she is asking me to take a marker and try to prove certain formulas. Then I'm standing and I have folded my one foot, and that is pasted along with the wall. That is also a negative body language or the aggression. Ensure that you do not stand in this style. When you are talking to your listeners, you have to ensure that your language has to be polite. It has to be so sweet that even if you make mistakes and you have to take your words back, it should not be bitter taste for you. So ensure that when you use aggressive words, you do not become a polite. But when you are polite, you may make mistakes, but you may apologize for your mistakes as well. So during presentation, aggressive appearance does not have a demand. People will not listen to you, even though you have huge knowledge, but people will not listen to you. The reason is simple: people will feel that you are not made for the presentations, because they are expecting some good things. Many people love to learn, but at the same time they have a thought process in their mind that I love to learn but hate to be taught by someone who is not favorite of me. Mark this sentence: I love to learn but hate to be taught by someone who is not in good books of me. So that person is not my favorite. So I love to learn, but I don't want to learn from that person. I hate to be taught by someone else who is not in my good books. So such kind of body language will be called as aggressive body language. I recommend you to avoid this. And in your stance, if possible, many people, when they sit on a chair during interview, they have fold, I mean to say, hands like this. When I touch my hand, you can see that pronunciation has been changed. I have been forcing my vocal cords and it is disturbing my pronunciation and everything is problematic. Some people fold their hands during the interview process. Your heart is here at your this side. You have to ensure that it is free. Keep your hands on a rested, it has to be rested on the armchair. Do not move like this if you're in presentation, it may be in interview, whatever it may be. And ensure that if you have to stand, you have to walk continuously, because many people believe that sitting can be best posture, but I believe that when you sit, you lose the control of the people who are sitting behind. And believe me, most of the hijackers can be found at the back benches, back rows, or the people who are standing behind. So ensure that you keep walking if possible. And when situation demands, you can be in the participants. If you are given them certain activities, you can be along with them. You can ask them certain questions. We can talk about that later. How to ask questions, how to keep session alive, how to keep it awakened. We'll be talking about that. But ensure that when you walk around the class, when you walk in the people, you have to control your body language as well. You have to ensure that your words are polite. You have to ensure that your standing style, your shoulders should not be bent like this. It shows the low confidence. When you do like this, it shows over aggression. So simple. Some people put their hands in the pocket. That is also not good in the appropriate body language. So you may leave your hands as it is. If you're standing, if you're walking, you may walk like this. That's fine. You may walk in your style, no problem. But while walking, ensure that you do not invade a personal space of the audience, personal space of the listeners. In the interview also, you have to ensure that you do not uh, put your hands on a table or a chair. You have to keep your hands rested on a chair. And if I'm a teacher, and if the opportunity is that I have to speak somewhere that camera is recording me, then I have to sit properly. My shoulder should not be bent. It should be okay in the relaxed way. Now you can see that I'm sitting in my home. I don't have opportunity to walk. So I'm sitting at one place, but I'll have to ensure that if I sit at one place, I have to take a break within 90 minutes. Human psychology, as per the science and psychology, people cannot sit at one place for more than 90 minutes. And therefore, ensure that you give a break after 90 minutes. And one more thing, if you are standing, you have to ensure that you do not stand at one place for more than 7 minutes. Keep walking. That is the best stance, best appearance you have. One more thing is that you need to have smile in each and every sentence. And to understand how to smile, how does it make difference, I recommend you to listen to any radio jockey, particularly females. Listen to the radio jockeys, will understand the difference between a simple sentence and a simple sentence with a smile. Smiles adds these miles in your sentences. It is the biggest one according to the English spelling. This has the miles, therefore it is the biggest one in English. Smile can change everything. Always have a smile on your face. What you speak, it has to be spoken with smile. Whenever situation demands, you have to smile. But there is a huge difference between smiling and laughing. Laughing can ruin your presentation. It can disturb everyone. So have a smile on your face. And this smile can be read by many of the participants, and it's a contagious. People will definitely love to listen to you if you have a smile. And use the sentences with smile. Go home and have a practice. Say certain sentences without smile, and later on say the same sentence adding certain smile. Record that sentence and you will understand the difference between that. Smile can make a difference. Even newborn baby can understand what is smile. If I'm smiling at a foreigner who doesn't understand Marathi and I don't understand English, still we can exchange the words by smiling with each other. Smile can change each and every aspect of your presentation. So always add smiles in your sentences. Now, nervousness. If I'm a student and if I'm in the interview process, that will definitely add the nervousness because I have fear of failure and pressure of expectations. The pressure is that I need to have this job desperately. If I'm a teacher, if I'm a trainer, my expectation is that people are listening to me. That should be a great presentation. My director is listening to me. My HOD is listening to me. That should be a great presentation. Now here, I may have a fear of failure that I have been recorded. The recording is going on. It's a telecast as well. So here, if I have a fear of failure, then definitely I will make more mistakes. If you have pressure of expectation, then I will definitely make a mistake. But the thing is that now the session is being recorded. That is not in my control. I have to focus on the things which can be controlled by me. So what are the things I can control? My way of presentation, my eye contact, my body language, my content, that is in my control. But when I feel that I'm being judged by other people, I become nervous. Similarly, in the interview process as well, we start very well. We start introduction. Then later on, interviewer starts writing something. Then unfortunately, it quite possible that unfortunately it generates nervousness in our life. Why? We think that what is he writing there about me? I'm in the process of examination. I'm in the process of interview. I'm speaking perfectly. That is a correct answer. And I'm doing it fantastically. But when I come to know that interviewers are writing about me, my interviewer is writing something on my CV, I become nervous quite naturally. The reason is simple. I focus on the things which are not in my control. I have to focus on the things which are in my control. So I can be nervous if I think about that my presentation is being recorded. It has been telecasted. I may make errors, so people will laugh at me. So this is the area I become nervous. But if I do not focus on that, if I focus that this is the normal way, it's a regular way, you just need to focus on your topic and you can do it very well. If I think in this way, believe me, I will not be nervous. And this nervousness happens as long as we are new, as long as we are freshers in any particular industry. As a new trainer, I may make mistakes. As a new teacher, I may goof up. As a new person in the job, I may commit errors while speaking. So ensure that this nervousness can be avoided if you do not have fear of failure and pressure of expectations. Do not have pressure of expectation. What is the expectation? I need to have this job. I should crack this interview. My presentation should be good that people should appreciate me. That will happen quite naturally. Only the thing is that you have to focus on your presentation. So nervousness can be avoided. Now your presentation is the opportunity where you have to express yourself. It's not about impression. People will remember the sentence for a long time. What did you speak? If you are expressing from the bottom of your heart. But if you're trying to impress just by copying certain videos from youtube.com, if you are copying some style of the presenters, then that will not be that much impactful because people are already aware of that. If I'm cracking a new joke which has recently launched by WhatsApp University, people will definitely laugh. But if that is the old joke and people are aware, then definitely they will not that much, they will not pay attention that much. So here I just need to be expressive rather than be impressive. My job in the presentation is to express what I feel, what is my opinion, what is my knowledge, and how I share my knowledge. That is my expression. And this expression can be spoken, this expression can be shared without speaking. If you pass a smile, your expression is that you're happy. If you say like this, thumbs up, you are appreciating someone. If you are doing like this, it's a beautiful way of appreciating something. If you clap slowly, not making noise, that is also appreciation. So this is the way of expressions. But when I talk about impressions, my job is not to impress people. My job is to express what do I feel. In the interview process, you focus on the expressions. In the process of presentation, teacher, trainers, you have to focus on the expression. What do you feel? What is the topic given to you? You have to talk about that, not about impressions. And impression, it means people try to sell themselves. Many a time they try to boast themselves, selling something that is okay, selling your ideas, that is okay, that may be a part of presentation. But if I share the examples which belong to my life and I'm boasting myself, इसे हिंदी में कहते हैं खुद के मुंह मियां मिट्ठू बनना, खुद की तारीफ करना. और ये खुद की तारीफ जब इंटरव्यू में आती है, प्रेजेंटेशन में आती है, इंटरव्यू में ठीक है, वो प्रोसेस है कि आपको खुद को प्रूव करना है, दैट्स फाइन. बट इंप्रेशंस अगर मैं प्रेजेंटेशन में इस्तेमाल करूं, मान के चलिए मैं टाइम मैनेजमेंट की ट्रेनिंग ले रहा हूँ और मैं यहाँ पे बोल रहा हूँ कि मैं 22 साल के करियर में 1 मिनट भी ट्रेनिंग में मैं लेट नहीं हुआ हूँ, that may be fact, but what difference will it bring in your life? Because I'm trying to impressing you. Instead of that, if I put that sentence in a different way, if I say that time management makes a vital role in your life, ensure that you should not be late anywhere. So that's an expression, that is the opinion I have. And many a times we go for copy and paste. Last time, if you remember, I have shared certain examples of copy and paste. Your presentation has to be innovative. It should have creativity. It should have new sentences. It should have new words. Believe me, people will remember your explanation, your teaching, your training, and your way of explaining if you use the creativity and innovation. Now, there are many teachers and trainers which will be remembered for a long time in the mind of students. What is the reason? They do not go for copy and paste. They always use their own feelings. They speak, what do they feel? Nowadays, every answer can be seen in a guide. Google gets every answer. But if someone asks you, your teachers are asking you to go for a project, people generally go for copy and paste in the project. They have a word with the previous year students. They search it online and google.com help them to complete that project. That's unfortunate nowadays. Instead of that, if you use your own language, you will get more marks. In the interview process, if you use your own sentences, you will get more marks. In the interview process, if you use uh, innovative statements or creative statements, then interviewer will be definitely happy. And here in this scenario, you have to ensure that no copy and paste. This Friday, I have a training session of resume writing. In this resume writing, I'll be conducting a training session. I always start with one sentence in the resume writing. Now, this is the example. This is not a boasting. I'm sharing the example. I feel that many of the resumes are copy and pasted. That's okay. Nowadays, career objective in the resume, that may be copied and pasted from google.com. But if you can modify that, if you can edit, if you can amend that, that will be more than greater, more than happiness for the interviewer. But many people, they give the heading to their resume, that is CV. The full form will be curriculum vitae. I call it as a C means control C and V means control V. Copy and paste. Control C means copy and control V means paste. Why do I call this? Because I always look for the hobbies of people first. I have seen one resume of one youngster when I was conducting interview handling training session. And the hobbies of that guy was knitting, cooking, all these hobbies. Now, there is no monopoly of the girls to have a great cook. You can see that many boys are great cook as well. So somehow that can be understood. But why all the hobbies and how all the hobbies which are related to female? So I came to know that this resume has been copied and pasted from a female friend. So this kind of copy and paste will definitely help you to dig your own grave. So in a presentation, in the interview process, be away from such things. That will definitely help you. Now, if I'm a teacher, if I'm a trainer, if I'm a student in the interview, I have to ensure that if I'm presenting something on a projector, always look at the audience. Do not look at the slides. You already know about slides. If you are running certain videos, do not look at the videos. Read the body language of people. Read their understanding. See if they are yawning. See if they are talking to each other. See if they are giving you negative expressions. So always have a glance towards your audience, not to the slides. Do not look at that slide. Always focus on the thing where people are watching. Now here, in between, I can see that some cameras are getting on. I'm focusing here. Though my camera part is here, of laptop, this part is here, this is the camera, but I'm not looking at this. I'm not focusing on this part because this is my presentation, this is my slide. But I'm focusing here because I want to check how many people are here. Is there any activity done by a participant? To be frank, online I have limitations, but still I try my best to have a glance at these people. I look at these numbers. If this is flashing, I click on this. If these are the increasing number, I come to know that people are listening to me. If I feel that there are certain other people who are on unmute mode, I'll come to know by understanding of this focus. Similarly, in offline classes, in offline trainings, in offline presentations, you have to ensure that you look at the audience, not to the slides. Now, pay attention towards the font colors. Now, let me share the example which I do. I want you to do the same thing. It's quite natural that females have more knowledge about the colors. Females know more about the colors. And you can come to know, if I give the some examples of Bollywood, there are certain actors, I'll not take their names. There are certain actors who do not have color combinations knowledge. They wear shirt in a different color which is mismatched to the pant, and many people, they laugh at them. There are certain actors in Bollywood, but have you noticed any girl which does not have color sense? You will not find a single lady. There are girls which are with there with natural sense of color combination. So what do I do? After completion of any PPT, I take this PPT to my daughter. My daughter is 8 years old only. I ask her, could you please let me know, is this color okay? She says, no, daddy, this is the wrong one. You have to change it. I change the color. And believe me, I have been doing it for almost 5 years. When she was 3 years old, since that time, I have been using this. Why do I use this? Because I know that females are blessed with the color combination. There are certain boys also, but boys do not have that much interest in the combination of color. It's quite natural. I'm not saying that girls are great and boys are not great, but this is quite natural. Therefore, it is not shame to take help from girls. Always look for the font colors. Always ensure that the background color and the font color can be suitable, even if you are conducting a training session at a dim area where the lights are not great, and conducting a session in a call center, ITs, BPOs, KPOs, in some corporate rooms or colleges where the light is high. So this can help you. I generally follow the instructions given by my daughter. For this, I want you to do the same thing. You can take a help of your female colleague if you want to have. Show it to her and ask her whether the colors are okay, background color and the font color. Then I talk to my daughter and she suggests that it has to be changed. Why do I do this? The reason is simple. I want this font color should be easily accessible to the people. They should understand what am I talking about. So follow this. And this was just an example where this example can be helpful for you. You can have word with your daughter. If wife is there, if female friend is there, you can ask and she will definitely guide you for the same. And here, next point, what did I tell? Which has been already covered up earlier. Focus on the things which you can do. Remember one sentence in your life: do not let what you cannot do interfere with the things which you can do. जो चीजें आप कर सकते हो उस पे फोकस करो, जो चीजें आप नहीं कर सकते उस पे फोकस मत करो. Many a times I go for training sessions in various colleges. Sometimes the projector doesn't have some projector has some problems. Sometimes the connectivity to the laptop, it has the VGA cable or it may have HDMI cable and the projector is not supporting that. That may be old. Such kind of things can happen. So be ready for the negative things as well. If you do not have presentation available on PPT, you can do it on your own as well. What do? I save all this presentation on Google Drive, and Google Drive can be accessible from my mobile as well, from cell as well. If needed, I can take a help of cell phone as well. You can do the same thing. So focus on the things which you can do. There are various options. Always have a backup of your PPT. Either it may be in the email or it may be in the Google Drive or anywhere else. You can access that. And if you do not have the technology available, don't worry. You can speak continuously for a long time with the help of your knowledge, with the help of your experience. But at the same time, ensure that stick to the topic. Talk about the given topic, and that will be helpful for you. Otherwise, if you focus on the things which you cannot do, oh my god, I do not have projector, video is not working, what should I do? If you remember the first training session where the audio of this Zoom was not working, that was my mistake actually. But I did not react. I had given certain other information which has helped me to complete the task. But if I would have been focusing on the things, oh my god, that was the important video, I should have shown this video, people will love this video, then I'm focusing on the things which are beyond my control. And when I do this, I can forget everything which I have. Example, let me tell you. When we have the toughest exams in the examination, what do? We do? We have to prepare ourselves. We have to study. We have to We solve the easy questions first. But if we try to solve the hard questions, believe me, we forget the answers of easy questions also. Similarly, in your life, always remember to focus on what you do. And this point, what you can do. This point is not only for presentation, but this point can help you to manage your stress as well. Always focus on the things which you can do. In your presentation, in your examples, in your stories, use some fact and figures to support your points. If I say that India is independent country, that's a fact. But what is the figure? Since 15th August 1947, we are independent. When I said Bollywood produces 2,500 movies, that's a number. That's a figure. When I say that we have independence, and since 1947 we are independent. So last 74 years we are independent. So 1947, 74, these are the numbers which are supporting my fact. And if you don't know the exact number, use the word approximately, averagely, according to me, I heard somewhere, I read somewhere. Use that word, because those numbers can be helpful for the participants to ask cross questions, because participants have google.com and they can cross check. For example, if I say that India has been a global capital for diabetics, that is the fact. But what is the figure? If I say 1 lakh people, they suffer with the diabetic every year, believe me, I don't have the correct information, but I have used the number just to kill my time. And now I'm digging my own grave. As a participant, you will definitely take care of google.com and you will cross check. You said that 1 lakh people suffer with diabetics. Here, the numbers are different. From where did you get this? So people have the access of internet and they may have cross questions on your point. Therefore, if you are not sure about the figures, use the word approximately, minimum, maximum, rarely, approximately, averagely, according to me, according to the reports given by XYZ. Use such kind of words where you cannot claim that that is the correct one. But if I say that India has been ruled by Britishers, we were known as the colony of British people for 150 years. But do I have the exact date? I don't have available date. So I can say they have ruled us almost for 150 years. Now the word almost indicates that it may be less than 150, it may be more than 150, but it should be around 150. So I'm using numbers, but I'm using a word almost, nearly, approximately. Use such kind of words, and always use such words where people will remember it for a long time. And believe me, people, when they take notes, they always write the numbers to remember it for a long time. So use such kind of fact and figures. And if you want to support certain structures with Microsoft Excel, you can use it by MS Excel. You can use certain graphs in your presentation. You can show it to them. People love the visual things. You can show the graphs, you can show the pivot tables, you can use MS Excel, you can use Google spreadsheet for the same, and that will be really useful. To be frank, we have been given limited amount of time, therefore we have to complete the remaining features as well. The here main important aspect is that respect the time of the audience. If the session has been planned for 1 hour, you have to ensure that you have to wrap up the things, and if certain things are remaining, you have to complete well within stipulated time. Time management changes everything. If you respect the time, audience will definitely listen to you for a long time. You may have huge knowledge, but you should know when to stop, how to stop. And at stopping, you have to recap the things. You have to allow participants to ask questions. And in this training, ensure that you use the audience friendly language. I go for training sessions at various locations. Some training sessions are specific demands in Marathi. Some people do not understand Marathi. They expect Hindi. Some people say English, but many people do not understand English. So in the beginning, I always say that as a Maharashtrian, मी मराठी असल्यामुळे उत्तम प्रकारे मराठी बोलू शकतो. हिंदी में मुझे कोई दिक्कत पेश नहीं होती. मैं नॉर्थ इंडियन एक्सेंट में बहुत बढ़िया आपसे बात कर सकता हूँ. And I say that I can speak to you in other accents as well. So which language do you want me to talk to you in? In the beginning, I use this sentence to give them options. Many people say Hindi, Marathi, English. Some people say mixture. I do the same thing in the beginning if there is a requirement and if I'm not known about the requirement. Or I ask the coordinators before starting a training which language has to be used. And if required, I translate some words in some other language as well. But ensure to use audience friendly language. For example, people love me to speak to in English and I use Marathi. That's wrong. Here in our training session, there are certain people who are with the non-Maharashtrian background. And if I start training in Marathi, people will lose interest. Though they will understand certain words, but they will lose the interest. And if there are some people who are expecting me to speak in Hindi and I'm using English, then that is also not good. So always ask your audience which language do you feel comfortable in if you are unknown to the audience. But if you know your audience for a long time, you can use the language which you and they feel comfortable in. But the ultimate aim of the presentation, that what I want to say, that should be understood by them. Apart from this, know your product thoroughly. What is your product? For example, my product of today's session, that's a presentation skills. So I should be able to know everything because people may ask me any question and I should be able to answer them. So here in this scenario, I should be able to answer them. And if I know about my product, believe me, any question can be dealt easily. But if I don't know the answer, I may make mistakes. And to avoid the errors, I may give fake and vague answers as well. And vague answers can design a separate question or a cross question, and that may help me to hijack my own session. And hijackers can be extremely dangerous. Therefore, I have marked the word hijackers in red. I'll let you know how to do it. But before that, would like to ask sir, how much time will be given to me? I have to complete this slide and this much slide only. Two more slides are there. How much more time will be given, because it is almost 10 o'clock. Sir, could you please let me know by what time do I have to wrap it up? Sir, will it be fine if I take 5 to 6 more minutes extra? Because we've started exactly at 9:05 somewhere. Therefore, I may be asking for some more time. If you allow me, I can do it. Okay, he's not responding, maybe somewhere else. So let me continue. And we were talking about the things which you should have. Product knowledge. What are you talking about? Let's take an example. If I'm a teacher and I have to teach you something about E is equal to MC square. That's a rule of, that's an equation of science. Even I have no idea about that. But if that is my product, I should be able to explain that, because that is my bread and butter. I should be able to explain in a simple way that people will remember for a long time. And in a presentation, if you find that someone is disturbing you and you have to take care of all these hijackers, I'll let you know how to handle the hijackers. This second point, always ensure that do not scold or do not criticize anyone publicly if someone has given you wrong answer or if someone has passed on certain comments. And appreciate participants, appreciate people, ask other people to clap for them. I request everyone to please join me in clapping this. I request everyone to please join me in appreciating or congratulating this. Remember such kind of golden sentences in your presentation. Add humor whenever it is required. But your presentation ultimate aim is that to make people understand everything. But if you are adding only humor in the presentation, people will consider us as a joker. It should not happen. So add humor whenever it is required, because that will make the mood lighter and people will get more capacity to listen to us. So add humor if possible. I generally use the stories which are funny, which are humorous, and that may have some good examples as well. And people will remember for a long time. For example, here I have one story. I'll be sharing it with you to add a humor and to prove the point. I'll show it to you. And if possible, try to have some games and videos in your training session. If you are given long time, run the videos, but ensure that videos quality, then relation, it should be there. If the relation is there of science learning, and I'm showing certain video of a psychology, that will not work. So video should be relevant, it should have relevance, then it will be impactful. Play some games. There are so many management games, so many corporate games. You don't need any resource. I can play many games. If you remember, we have played certain games with the fingers, we played certain games with the papers. Why did we play this? To ensure that to relate some topics to that, and people will get happy if you play certain games. So always use such kind of games. To be frank, we don't have time, otherwise we could have asked you to play certain games. Now, you may have certain hijackers. 20% people will be always there to disturb you. Go anywhere, hijackers will be always there. Why the hijackers? First thing, human psychology says that many people feel that who is he to let me know that this is the perfect one? He is younger than me. I should not listen to him or her. She is younger than me. She is new to this industry. So who is he or she that I have to listen to her? Might be possible that there are certain people with such kind of thought process and ego. So many people will not love to listen to you. And to disturb you, they might ask you certain questions in between. And believe me, most of the hijackers will be found on the last row of the benches or last row of sitting arrangement. So in the beginning, what do I do? If I find that in the first initial 5 minutes that people can hijack my session, then in this scenario, at the beginning, I say that kindly park your questions and every question will be dealt, every question will be answered at the end of the session. So what am I doing? I'm preventing hijackers to ask questions in between. If hijackers ask question and if I don't have answer and if I give vague answer to save my image, then hijackers are quite champion. They may ask me certain other question and my topic will be derailed and I have to deal with some other problems as well. So in the beginning, in the first 5 minutes, you have to read the body language of the participant if you are unknown to them. If they are unknown to them, if they are new to them, always start with the sentence that we'll park the questions and we'll have all the questions at the end. Believe me, hijackers will be always in hurry to leave the classroom or a training room or the area where you are conducting training. So after your training session is over, if they have genuine question, they will ask. If the questions are by hijackers, hijackers will definitely choose to leave the classroom as early as possible. So do not allow hijackers to ask questions. Now, let's say that while asking questions, if you are given the time and hijackers are asking certain questions, now you have understood that this person is aggressive and this person wants me to be in trouble, me to be in problem. So in this scenario, this is a simple technique called as a shoot at sight. Shoot doesn't mean you have to shoot by a bullet. You have to ask that hijacker in a polite way. That's fantastic, sir. I appreciate the way you are asking question. I have been amazed with your questions and style. Amazing, sir. Why don't you come here and let us know how to deal with this? Means if you would have been there at my place, how would you have explained this answer, this concept? And believe me, hijackers are prepared for asking questions, but they are not at all prepared. They have never expected that I have to be in front of the audience. Believe me, sitting and speaking, that's quite convenient, but speaking in front of the other people who are also talented, people may make mistakes and they are never prepared for this. Hijackers will not disturb you. This is one of the techniques. There are so many techniques, but due to time constraint, we will not be able to deal this. So ensure that you have to manage the hijackers. Otherwise, hijackers will run your session. Hijackers are the terrorists. They may take a flight anywhere according to their convenience. So be careful. Now speak about your achievement only if it is the interview. If you have to speak, I mean to say, if someone has to speak about your achievement, that's fine. Let's take an example. If I have to tell or if I have to prove certain points and everywhere I'm using my own examples, that's a boasting of me. Yes, twice or thrice I have used the example. That was not boasting. That I wanted you to follow those styles in your day-to-day life of the presentation. Those were the examples. But in every point, I'm using my own example. मुझे ऐसे सक्सेस मिली है. I am managing this much. I am XYZ ABC. I'm at the top of this position. That's a boasting. In a presentation, try to avoid this. Let other people do your boasting. Then that's an appreciation. दूसरों को आपकी बढ़ाई के बारे में बोलने दो. That's an appreciation. But this appreciation, you have to do it on your own in the interview process. Yes, in my last company, I have been managing this much people. I was at the top position. I have achieved XYZ ABC because that is the process where you want to grade that job. An interviewer is looking for some great people. So do not wait for someone else will come here to boast you. Do not wait for someone else will come here to appreciate you. In the process of interview, you have to boast yourself, but that should be a real boasting. That should be the true one. That should be fact. Because if someone asks you cross question, देखा ये prove कीजिए, then you should be able to do it. But in the presentation, give the examples of some history people, some Bollywood people, cricketing nations, because people are well versed with such kind of information. You can give the example of google.com, the CEOs of Facebook and other people, because those are popular. Apart from this, you can give the example of Indian people. Let's say we are into industry of farming. Then there is one lady in Maharashtra, Rahi Bai. उनका example आप दे सकते हो, that is related to your industry. So such kind of examples can be given, but here try to avoid the boosting. And one more thing is that you never take the people for granted. Your audience, that I pass on 5 more minutes extra, 10 more minutes extra, then people will manage. Do not take the audience for granted. What happens? Let me tell you, when we take the people for granted in real life as well, do not take anyone for the granted. Now let's say that here I have added certain numbers, fact and figures, and I feel that you will take it easily. But definitely you have knowledge. You may ask me cross questions, but I made a mistake that I have taken you for the granted that you will accept it. That is the biggest mistake I'm committing. So let me share a story here, a story of a cap seller. Since my childhood, I have heard so many stories. My teachers, my parents, my grandparents, they used to tell me stories. And many times in my training sessions, I use such kind of stories. When 30 years before, I heard a story of cap seller and monkeys. Some monkeys were disturbing him, and the cap seller used certain tricks, and cap seller could utilize all these things, and he grabbed the caps back. So after 30 years, this cap seller is old now, and he's thinking about retirement. His son has completed MBA marketing from a reputed college in Mumbai, Pune, or Nasik somewhere, and he is looking for the business opportunities. So one day he says, Papa, I'm waiting for this business to be handed over to me. I have been waiting. I have recently completed my MBA marketing. Please hand it over to me. Father says, okay, son, I'm also waiting for that. From tomorrow, believe me, it's all yours. Son gets excited and he says, wow, father, thank you very much. Papa, thank you very much. Baba, thank you very much. I assure you that I will work hard like you. I still remember you used to carry the boxes on your head, on your shoulder, and you used to sell the caps. I'll not do the same thing because we have marketing team for the same, and marketing team can work properly. But I will do the different things which I have learned in MBA marketing. I'll give the caps free of cost to the people. I'll put those boxes in a boot of a car, and I will share the caps and I'll take a feedback from the people. Father got excited. He says, wow, I was expecting the same thing from you, but still there are certain examples which your MBA marketing might not have taught you. Let me share the examples. Let me tell you. Then son got angry. Son says, he got furious and he says, Papa, and he puts his hand on a table. If you're telling me a story of you and monkeys, I don't have time for that. My time is limited. My college has taught me to manage my time. Please do not tell me that story. I have heard since my childhood. Father says, okay, beta, not an issue, as per your convenience. And next day, as per the promise, the business has been handed over to him. In excitement, in the rush, he takes certain caps, certain box in the boot of a dicky. I mean to say, boot of a car, and he goes to one place which was nearby village, and he gives the caps free of cost. He takes a feedback, but the problem was that villagers were less in numbers. And here in this scenario, he says, could you please ask other villagers or other villages to come and grab these free caps? Meanwhile, I'll take my fast food. He takes a fast food, and because of cool breeze of the air, he feels sleepy. नींद लग जाती है, नींद आती है, और थोड़ी देर में आवाज की वजह से वो जाग जाता है. He gets up and he finds that there is a huge noise, and noise is being made by monkeys which are on trees. And he takes a look at his boxes. The boxes are shelter skeltered. Everywhere boxes are broken. So he thinks, oh my God, my father has told me the story. I should have listened to him, but I was in rush. I didn't listen to him. I didn't respect him. This might be the same place. This might be the same tree, and these might be the same monkeys or the next generation. So I have made the mistake, but MBA marketing has taught me that reaction to the mistake is another mistake to happen. So what can be done? So he thinks that I should do the same things which my father has done. So he takes some stones and he throws it to the monkeys. Monkeys take some fruits. फल तोड़ के उसको मार के फेंकता है. He does some things like this, some actions. Monkeys mimic him. Some activity ऐसे ही करते हैं, same activities. उसको लगता है स्टोरी सक्सेसफुल है. वो खुद की टोपी बॉक्स से निकालता है, आई मीन दिमाग सर से निकालता है, बॉक्स में जोर से डाल देता है गुस्से से. तो मंकी जोर जोर से हंसना शुरू करता है, बंदर जोर जोर से हंसना शुरू करता है. He says, my father has told me the story, and monkeys didn't throw the caps away. Then monkey का एक बॉस नीचे आके उसके कान के नीचे आवाज निकाल के उसको बोलता है, पापा सिर्फ आप ही को है क्या? हमारे पापा ने भी हमें ये स्टोरीज बताई है. सो एक मंकी की तरफ उंगली करके वो दिखाता है, देखो एक छोटा बंदर, उसके हाथ में एक छोटा सा टैब होता है. He had a tab, and in a tab he searched that इंसान अगर टोपी फेंकता है तो हम क्या करें. So everyone has been given google.com. People have been given access of internet. People can cross check anything. Therefore, do not take people for granted. Do not use fact and figures if you are not sure about that. Otherwise, such things will happen to you as well. पापा क्या सिर्फ आप ही को है क्या? हमारे पापा ने भी हमें ये मंकी स्टोरी बताई है. ऐसे monkeys कहता है. So ensure that you do not take the people for granted. Now there are certain technical rules, and this will be the last slide, and then we'll go for question and answer. I think we have taken long time. I'm so sorry for the same. We'll complete this slide as well. Rule 7 into 7. Now always remember that many slides will have much more information. Try to limit it and speak more. Slides should not be speaking. You should be speaking for a long time. Therefore, there is a rule 7 into 7. It says that any slide should not have more than 7 lines. Any slide should not have more than 7 lines. And to prove this point, I have completed certain lines. I mean to say certain slides with more than 7 lines. By purpose, I have taken to cross check the audience attention. You can do the same thing. You can ask audience, can you tell me, we have learned the rule 7 into 7 that slides should not have more than 7 lines, and one line should not have 7 words. So have you noticed my slides had more than 7 lines here? That was by purpose. That has been added by purpose to prove certain points that my slide did not have 7 into 7 rule. It didn't follow, but ensure that you follow rule of 7 into 7. This is a standard rule which has been designed by government of India, that 7 into 7. It's quite simple. सात एक लाइन में सात वर्ड्स होने चाहिए और एक स्लाइड में सात से ज्यादा लाइंस नहीं होनी चाहिए. This has been designed by many corporate people, not exactly government of India, but many corporate people, they follow this. 7 minutes, it's a concentration span of people. Therefore, after 7 minutes, try to give some examples, some stories, some fact and figures, so that people can brought their concentration back to you. If you are a trainer or a teacher, 7 minutes, it's a maximum capacity of standing at one place. Do not stand at one place for more than 7 minutes. Keep walking, and do not sit at one place for more than 90 minutes. And do not keep your audience seated for more than 90 minutes. Give them a break once it is done. Feedback forms by Google Forms, that will definitely help you to understand some areas of improvement. People can share their views about your presentation and everything. Always design a feedback form by Google Forms. If you get time, you can design feedback form and you can share it with others. Read, read, and read. It is not only reading books, but it is all about reading people as well. Reading their body language, reading their purchase style, reading their psychology. And to understand reading, just travel by any bus and at dhaba, stand at a counter and read the faces of people. People feel about prices, people read about quality, and everything you can read about them. At a shopping mall, read about this spending habit of the people. In a class, read your students, read your listeners, read their body language, read their sitting style and everything. This can help you a lot in designing many presentations. And pronunciation matters in your training. It is all about communication. I want you to improve on the presentation, do the things better than yesterday. That is your competition. And this is done from my end. And there is one beautiful website which can help you to gather more information, bookboon.com. Use this website. This can help you to gather more information. Now I would like to say thank you, and I would be open for your questions because time is almost up, but still you can ask me question, because next participant maybe, I mean to say next trainer maybe in queue. I would like to say sorry for the late, being late. I mean to say you have to wait because of my extended training of 5 to 7 minutes more. I'm so sorry for the same. Now the ball is in your court. I want you to ask me your questions if you have any. And if you don't have any question, I want you to type all clear in the chat box. Then I'll take your leave. And we'll stop for the day. And this presentation, I mean to say this slideshow, I'll be sharing it with sir, and sir will give it to you later on. Any question do you have? This is my contact number. This is my email address, and this is my Facebook page. So you can search me on Facebook if you want to ask certain queries. You can share it on WhatsApp on this number. You can text me or you may call me. Only the thing is that during my training session, my number is always on silent mode. So thank you very much for being with me for almost 1 hour 10 minutes. I have enjoyed your company. Hope the same has been done by you. Now once again would like to let you know that if you have any questions, please feel free to ask me. And if you don't have any question, I request you to please type all clear in a chat box, so that it will confirm that training has been fruitful and you have enjoyed the training session. If there is a question, please type, or you may unmute and ask. And if there is no question, I request you to please type all clear in a chat box. Fine. So I got responses. Thank you very much. Thanks to the university, thanks to the backend team, thanks to the organizers, thanks to the participants, everyone. You have been marvelous throughout the session, and we have enjoyed with each other. Thank you very much. Enjoy your day. Keep smiling. Enjoy your day. Take care. Thank you for your valuable words of a feedback. Thanks a ton. Yeah, I've done from my end. I would like to appreciate that your words of appreciation will be definitely helpful for me. Thank you very much. If I have to mention the names, will take a long time. But thank you very much, Adik ji. Then Vinoda ji. Then I can say Nilima ma'am has said thank you. Then Samdrita ma'am has said thank you. Then Kalyani ma'am has said some beautiful words. I would like to appreciate that. Debanjani wanted to say thank you. I would like to say welcome from my end. Could you please pass on a message to sir that session is over? Thank you. Thank you very much. Guys, do you want me to repeat it voice typing? If you want to learn, I'm still available because next session I have no idea when will it begin. So please let me know if you want to know more about that voice typing. We have added some voice notes in the PPT. You may unmute and let me know if you wish to. Okay, let me tell, some participants are still here. So if you are free, then let me tell you how to use that voice typing. Okay, I thought that session is over, and that is the reason I had to wrap it up. So if it is up to 11 o'clock, then I'll be happy to let you know how to do this. So okay, then let's rejoin. And I got a message from sir that my session will be there up to 11 o'clock. So still we have almost half an hour. We'll wrap it up after 11 o'clock then. Okay, thank you, sir, for the information. I thought that it is only of 1 hour. That is the reason I had wrapped it up. So here I was speaking about the topic where you can use a skill, where you can use the voice notes to your slide. I had run that option, but let me tell it once again how to do this. So to do this, I can give you option. Come to this option of your Google Drive, and how to come to Google Drive. It's quite simple. Come to Gmail. Once you are here in the Gmail, click on this 9 squares. Come to Drive. Come to Drive. Then you may use the voice notes everywhere in Microsoft Word. I mean to say the option of uh, what do you say, Google Docs, which is an alternative to Microsoft Word. You can use it in Google Slides, which was there, which we have added the voice notes. So I'll come to Google Docs here. See, Google Docs, it's a similar to Microsoft Word, similar and same to Microsoft Word. Okay, here I will type certain notes in English. Now let's say that I have to design certain notes for attaching my slides, and I don't have time to type. So what can be done? Come to Tools option, then come to Voice Typing, and here you don't need to be expert in the pronunciation of UK English or US English. We have the option of Indian English as well, English India. You can simply select English India, and whatever the pronunciation maybe, you don't need to be worried. Just click here. Let's say that I'm speaking something on a particular topic, and whatever the speed I might have, it has been managing the things perfectly. Only the thing is that it doesn't understand the rules of communication, is that I have to use a full stop after every sentence. So we have to do it manually. That is the only drawback it has. And you may use any language to type it. So if you have to type certain things in your slides as well, you may copy it from this place and you may paste it there also. If you want to paste it on Facebook wall or Twitter, you can do the same thing. You can use it for your requirement in your Gmail, email, whatever it may be. I'll stop it now because we have to show the other languages as well. If you take a look at here, you can see that there are various languages which are available, and these languages can be helpful for you. Look at this, all the languages, even Urdu and other things, Nepali, Marathi, Hindi, all the languages are available. So if you are looking for a person who will be helping you to type in regional language, you don't need to be expert in that. You just need to have the information of Google. You copy this and paste it in your presentation. That can be helpful for you. Now let's say that I have to open that presentation skill once again. Give me a moment. Presentation skills. This is the slide. I mean to say this is the PPT I would like to open. And let's assume that I have to paste this data which has been typed, and I would like to add a new slide here. So come here. Here, if I have to add a new slide, click on new slide. The new slide will be added. And here I have typed something. I may simply select this, press Ctrl C, and without typing, I just spoke here and it has given me certain data. Control V, and you can see that data has been pasted. Similarly, you can add the notes here as well. This is the PPT of Microsoft PowerPoint. So I can type the notes there and I can add it here as well. Now, how these notes will be helpful, I have already spoken, but still let me repeat, how will it be helpful? These notes will be helpful for you if you have to speak certain numbers. You have to speak about certain equation, but that is the toughest one and you don't remember. So to have the reference of something, to have the rules, equation, you can type these things in the option of notes. And believe me, these notes cannot be seen by your participant. These notes can be seen by you on your computer screen only. So this can be a better advantage for you. This can be an added advantage for you to add the notes. Now let's come back to the slide. I have to delete this. This is not the important one. This was just for the practice option. I have deleted. So we'll pay attention to the last slide. I'll restart here.
give me a let me give the opportunity, I mean to say give me the opportunity to let you know how to use certain things during presentation. Now look at this. This is a slide number 7. This is a slide number 7, and somebody is asking you certain question. Could you please show me the slide number 5? So what do we do in a running presentation? This is my running presentation like this. This is the slide number 7, and someone says, sir, could you please take this cursor back to the slide number 5? So what do? We go back. We go back, or we press escape key and we go back. And when we press this presentation running, I mean to say to run the presentation starts from this. But many a time, if there is an old option of your Microsoft Office, many a time it begins with the first slide. It begins with the first slide, and unfortunately you have to press the cursor 7 times to come to that slide number 7. So there are certain shortcut keys which I'm going to tell you. I want you to remember this. I may add this in my presentation skill as well, this point here as well. Remember this. If you have to begin your presentation from the current slide, the shortcut key is shift and F5. The shortcut key is shift and F5. It will run the presentation from the current slide. Let me share the screen. I guess screen hasn't been shared. Okay, yeah, my mistake. Oh, my mistake. I'm so sorry. I forgot to share the screen. I'm so sorry. Okay. And I think I have stopped the recording as well. Sir, if you want to add or start the recording, you may start it once again. I'm so sorry that I forgot to uh, explain it here. Okay, I'm so sorry. So I'll repeat the things which were covered. I will repeat, and so that you don't miss the things. If you want to begin a short, I mean to say, if you want to begin a presentation from the current slide, shortcut key is there, shift and F5. Shift F5. It will run the it will run the presentation from current slide. From current slide. And if I press F5, then it will run the presentation from beginning. Look at this. Now here I'm pressing F5. You can see that presentation has started from the first slide, and I have to come back to the 7th slide. Then it is wastage of my time. It is wastage time of audience as well. Therefore, the shortcut key to begin the presentation from the current slide, that is shift and F5. Always remember these things. As a trainer, as a teacher, you should remember this, because this will be really helpful for you. So use F5 to begin the presentation from the beginning, and shift F5 to begin the presentation from the current slide. Now let's see. This is slide number 6. My cursor is at slide number 6. Somebody was asking me to show me something. Therefore, I have pressed escape, and I am showing certain slides. Now let us see that I'm on slide number 6. If I have to begin the presentation, if I press F5, it is beginning with the first slide. And once again, I have to press the cursor 5 or 6 times. It is wastage of time for me and audience as well. It is wastage of time. Therefore, what can be done? You have to ensure that instead of pressing F5, you can use shift and F5, so that presentation will begin from the current slide. No need to start it with the beginning. And this is better for the people whose presentation may be there for more than 10 slides, 15 slides. To be frank, a presentation slide should be limited one, but still there are certain PPTs which are there for knowledge or gaining information. So might be possible that your PPT is more, there may be more than 20 slides, 30 slides. And let us assume that my cursor is there on slide number 25, and somebody is asking me to show me the slide number 24. So what do? I press escape, and I show the previous slide like this. Now once again, when I press F5, the slide begins from the first slide. That is wastage of time for me. And to come to the slide number 25, I have to press down arrow key 25 times. It's a wastage of efforts for me, and it's a wastage of time for audience as well. Therefore, this shortcut key can definitely help you. The option which I have told you, shift and F5, can run your presentation from the current slide. Now let me tell you one more thing. Let us say that I have a PDF. So let me open any PDF in my information. Okay. Now let's say that this is the PDF. This is the PDF, and I would like to show this PDF as a PPT. To be frank, it has 3 pages. It has 3 pages. So I will show it like this, and I'll have to drag it down in a training sessions. I show you like this. It is wastage of time for me. So if I have to show this as a PPT, just press Ctrl L, and you can see that one page will be shown as a slide at a time. use the arrow keys to move to the next slide, and that will help you. Back arrow key or a left arrow key to come to the previous one, it will help you. So always remember that even PPTs and PDF can be similar. If you are using PDF, you have to ensure that you use Control L as a shortcut key, and I'll type it here for you. I'll type this for you here, Control L as a shortcut key. Now this has gone more than 7 lines, therefore I'll be splitting these slides later on. Control L is the shortcut key. It's a shortcut key to run PDF as PPT. Run PDF as a PPT. So page wise PDF will be shown as a PPT. So this is the shortcut key. There are some other websites which can help you to convert your data from one option to the other option. So there are certain slides, and here I want you to, I mean to say there are certain sites, but I want you to have this software PD fill. This software can help you to convert your PPT, I mean to say PDF in PPT or in Word format or anything. And this is free of cost. I want you to remember this software PD fill. PD fill can help you to learn and at a time run many things. And PD fill, it's a free of cost. You can download it on your own. You don't need to be expert IT guy to download this. Go to google.com, download this PD fill, and your PDF information can be run as PPT or in Word format or as a Google Docs format. Anyhow, you can learn it. Now, many a times you have to design certain PPTs, but the thing is that your department is asking you to type the information in Marathi, and you have to convert that information in other language as well. So you have to design the content, but you have been given various opportunities where you have been asked, and these responsibilities are killing your time. What is the requirement? Requirement is simple, that you should have data or the content in English, and at the same time it should be in Marathi also. It should be in Marathi also. So how can you do it? Now let's take an example, that if I have to show this PPT to you after training session, I'll give it to you by email, by WhatsApp chat, or some other options. I can give it to you. But people are demanding that it is in English. I want to have this content in Marathi also. Now the thing is that I don't have that much time to develop my content in Marathi, and I have to translate that. I don't have that much time available. So what can be done? Open your Gmail, come to these options of these 9 dots, and after that, if you scroll it down, if you scroll it down this much actually, you will get the option of translate. You will get the option of translate. Now here you have option that you type it in English and it will be translating in Marathi. For example, here I'm typing, my name is Sunil Patil. Look at this. Here I'm typing in English, and I have chosen the language Marathi. You can choose Gujarati, Sindhi, Punjabi, the language which you would feel comfortable in. This is the list of languages. Look at this. I have chosen Marathi because my need is in Marathi. So this content I have typed in English, and this is giving me translation. Now this will definitely help for the people who do not have huge information about translation, or people who feel uncomfortable in other language. So here I'll type one more sentence here. You can see that my name is Sunil Patil. Today we are learning presentation skills. Now look at this. Presentation skills, it does not transfer, because that is the, it does not translate because that is a topic. Presentation skills apan aaj shikat ahot. Look at this. If you want it to be translated in Hindi, you can simply choose the option of Hindi from these given options. Hindi must be there. Look at this. This is Hindi. There you go. You can see that I have typed the content in English. It has translated in Hindi. So as a teacher, as a trainer, or as a participant, many times you have to design a PPT. Presentation skills need to design great content as well. Because as I told you earlier, that content is also equally important, and your presentation skills are important too. Now here I have been typing and things have been translated in Hindi or Marathi. Now I don't have to type. I just delete this. Here it is an option that I can speak and it can translate the things for me. So what am I doing? I'm clicking here and I'll speak in English. Good afternoon, guys. In fact, it's a good morning time, and my pronunciation, if it is not clear, it has typed something different. So I'll stop it and I'll delete it first. Okay, I'll delete it because it is not essential. I have made the mistakes in my pronunciation. If the headphone or microphone or headset, if it is not of good quality, you may make the errors as well. Okay, I'll start it once again. I'll click it here. Good morning, friends. Today we are learning about presentation skills, and I'm telling you how to design your own content. This is the best way to speak in English. System is typing the data for you, and at the same time it has been translating the data in Hindi for you. This is the best way which can help you to develop the content in multiple languages if the audience are there with different language background. So I'll stop now. Right, so you can see that everything has been translated. When you speak English, it has given you the option in English, and it has translated in Hindi as well. You choose the language according to your need. Here you speak in Marathi by choosing the language Marathi, and it will translate in English or Hindi as per your convenience. This is the best way where you can develop your own content in the best way. Now the next scenario might be possible that your content has been designed by your school or college, or some experts, they have designed the content and they have asked you to conduct the twinning. Now the problem is that you have already content design and you want to translate that document. Need to click on document. Simply select the document which you want to be translated. Click here, browse the document, and you just need to attach the file of the document which you want to be translated. Let us say that I would like to translate some this HRA calculations. This is in English actually, and I want this to be translated in, let's say, Hindi. So I have to translate in Hindi. I'll select the option Hindi. Look at this. I have clicked on documents. I have attached that document like we attach the files to the email. I have attached it here, and you can select the language of the translation. Click on translate, and you can see that all the document, it was actually in English. It is all about house rent allowance calculation. Click on download translation, and if I click here, you can see the content has been designed in Hindi. Just let me increase the zoom percent. Look at this. Everything has been translated, and believe me, the accuracy will be more than 95%. So this is the best way where you can get the content. Now look at this. This has been designed by me actually, therefore it has typed the exact name of this page. It hasn't translated anything. With regards, it has Sneha, means with regards Sunil Patil, right? So fantastic way it has given me the option of typing. Someone has sent a message in a chat box. Sure. Once again, HRA, how to do it. Okay, I'll do it, no problem. I'll show it once again. Okay, Deepali ma'am wants to say it once again. Pay attention. What did I do? I'll close everything and I'll show it from the first one. Okay, this is gmail.com. This is my login. Now the thing is that my content has been already designed, maybe in PPT, PDF, Word, whatever it may be. It is already designed and it is in English. Now I have to design that content in Hindi or Marathi. How to do it? Log into your Gmail, click on these 9 squares or 9 dots, scroll it down, and here you will get the option called translate. Here you will get the option called translate. Now there are various ways. Look at this. Text, it means you type here. uh Here I'll type, may I come in, may I come in. Okay, and I said the language has to be converted in Hindi. This has converted. क्या मैं अंदर आ सकता हूँ? And if I want to cross check with the pronunciation, click here. ये रन करेगा. देखो क्या मैं अंदर आ सकता हूँ. सिस्टम देखो कैसे बात करेगी. और स्क्रीन शेयर मैं एक बार रोक देता हूँ क्योंकि मैंने साउंड शेयर नहीं किया. 1 मिनट में फिर से स्क्रीन शेयर करता हूँ. Screen share along with share sound. Last time I made this mistake by ignorance. Okay, pay attention now.
क्या मैं अंदर आ सकता हूँ?
Look at this. It has been speaking for you to understand. If you want to copy, you can copy it here. If you want to share it with other people, you can share it here. May I come in? I'll type more sentences. My name is Sunil Patil. Right? Now let us see. क्या मैं अंदर आ सकता हूँ? मेरा नाम सुनील पाटिल है. चेक करता है. I'll click here.
क्या मैं अंदर आ सकता हूँ? मेरा नाम सुनील पाटिल है.
Fantastic. Now if I want this in Marathi, click on Marathi. Check it.
मी आत येऊ का? माझे नाव सुनील पाटील.
Okay, आहे टाइप नहीं किया है टाइप नहीं किया है, तो 19-20 थोड़े एरर्स होता है. So this is the best way where you can type and system will do it for you. Now I don't want to type, I want to speak. Look at this. Click here and speak 2 or 3 sentences. Good morning, friends. Today we are learning about presentation skills. I'll stop. Oops. Wait. By mistake, I'll delete this and I'll start once again. Good morning, friends. Today we are learning presentation skills and I'm letting you know how to design your own content using the facilities given by google.com. Thank you very much. I've stopped. You can see that I have spoken something and it has translated the content in Marathi. So I have given you option to design the content by typing, by speaking. Now the third option, somebody said that please repeat this content. Now the third option is that your college has made certain notes in the format of PDF. They have already designed the notes and they have been shared with the students. And still students want these notes to be translated in Marathi or Hindi to have better understanding. Can be done. How to do it? Come to the option called documents here. Come to the option called documents. Click on browse your document. Browse your document. Now we'll do it with the same one, or we'll be doing it with the gratuity calculation. If I click on gratuity calculation, this file has been attached and this file is ready to be translated in Hindi or Marathi. I can choose the languages. Let us say I want to translate it in Marathi. Now I need to click on translate. And once I click on translate, you can see that on screen, I have the information of downloading translation. Click here, and this is the file which has been translated in Marathi. And believe me, this file was in English. So any information which you want to translate in Hindi or Marathi, that is the best option available. You can translate that content to your language. And believe me, accuracy should be around 95%, which can be really helpful for you. And it can help you to design your own content. So I may copy this content and I may paste it in my PDF or a PPT, or I may run this PPT as a PPT. I may run this PDF as a PPT by pressing Control L. I may download it. I may email it. There are so many options available. So this is the best way where you can design your content. Now, many youngsters, if I ask them to give a presentation on a particular topic or share your presentation, then in that case, they may go for google.com. They may go for google.com. I recommend you not to copy everything from google.com. I want you to have your, okay. Can we share the audio too? Could you please repeat your question? Could you please elaborate your question? What is your requirement? Can we share the audio too? Could you please elaborate your question, Deepali ma'am? Do you want to share the audio to the audience? Okay, you repeat the question. Meanwhile, let me continue with the previous point which I was talking about. Let us say that I have to copy certain things from google.com. Let's say that I'm a new trainer or new person and I would like to have information from google.com regarding presentation skills. If I have to download something, look at this, presentation skills, and I click here. Believe me, there are thousands of the websites which can give me the information. Look at this. These are the 3 crore 70 lakhs or more than that websites are here. And that those websites are giving me the information. Some websites are giving me the videos. I don't want you to follow any video because everyone has a different style of presentation. So you may read their information but write your content in your own language so that you will be able to explain it very carefully. If I have to design any PPT, believe me, I do not search anything on google.com. I run the PPTs according to my experience of meeting the people, students, youngsters, old age people, people of various background, ethnicity, caste, creed, and I use reading skills of them. I mean to say, I use the things which I have read about them. By their reading their faces, I use that as a presentation skill. Okay. Can we share the audio to translated audio in machine translated voice? No, ma'am, that is not available. That is for your reference, that you can cross check what has been typed. And this is for the people who cannot see. This is for the people who does not have option to see the things by their naked eyes. There are certain obstacles they have, they can't see. Then in that case, they can listen to that one. Okay, you can't share the audio there. There is no option because the major purpose is to translate the content. Yeah, I was talking about taking the content from online options, YouTube, or maybe the content from google.com. You may read it for the information, you may read it for the references, you may read it if you want to have accuracy. For example, if I have to talk something about a stress management, I may give some numbers that we are increasing the numbers in terms of what do you say, addictions. Addicted people are more, people have been taking the treatment from psychiatrists, these numbers are also getting increased. Divorce cases in India, those are also getting increased. Heart attacks, diabetics, these are the patients, those are increasing in India. The major reason may be a stress management or a stress. Everyone has a stress, but many people don't know how to manage a stress. That is the topic I have to present. So to prove my points that we said that we are increasing in terms of heart attacks, so how can I get the data or to have the numbers? I'll come here and I'll simply select how many heart attacks how many heart attack deaths in 2021 in India or 2021, and you can come to know there are certain numbers. And these websites, they are saying that the annual number of deaths from India projected to rise, that is something different. But for the heart diseases, they have certain numbers. You can read and you can have this information to have references. And if you are not sure about the numbers, if you are not sure that these numbers may be approximate, then you may refer here, you may type reference collected by reference collected by xyz website, www.xyz.com, whatever it may be, xyz website. So you may refer, you may add certain references. Otherwise, if you share that number and that number becomes conflict, then you will be responsible for sharing this content, you will be responsible for talking about this. So be careful. If you are not aware about the number but you are aware about the fact, you can speak fact, but to prove the fact you need to use the numbers, figures. And to get the numbers, you can search it on google.com. Google.com definitely help you to get the numbers. If I want to know more about how many deaths have happened in India due to COVID, I might have said that COVID has killed many people. So many people, what is the number? So to prove that, I can use google.com, and here I can simply go for copy as paste. I don't have any concern about that. But if I simply copy this entire content and I paste it in my PPT, then believe me, you will find it hard to explain because this is not your language. This hasn't been written by you. So be careful. Use google.com as a reference. Use google.com as a reference. And if you are not sure that correctness or of that website, use this as a reference collected by xyzabc.com. Here I appreciate the insurance companies about this. Insurance companies talk about death only. They write the numbers about accidents, about death, about diseases, they talk about this, but they never say that it is their own accuracy in their own calculation. They always say reference collected by this website, reference by that website, reference by government calculation or government numbers or the numbers of certain websites, because they don't want any conflict on their shoulder. They don't want they don't want to be responsible for the statement they made. So here you can also refer google.com, but at the same time you may use reference collected by xyz abc website. If anyone wants to see it later on, they can see it later on. But if it is perfect, then you can type it without reference. If you wish to type, that is not compulsory, it is up to you. So you can use the reference and you can ignore as well. But if you feel that the statement made by me will be conflict, will be there to invite the conflict, will be conflicted, then in that scenario I recommend you to type reference anyhow. So use such kind of techniques to gather the information. There is a huge data available. Believe me, google.com can give you huge data, but I do not need that much data. I need a filter information. And believe me, most of the information, it is not accurate, it may be approximate. So here in this scenario, if you are not sure about the accuracy, use the word approximately. According to this website, rarely use the word around, use the word nearly, averagely, use such kind of words, and you may add reference if you wish to. Now in training sessions, content is perfect, your training style is perfect, your dialogue delivery, everything is perfect. Now in between, I have seen many people, they play certain games to ask questions, certain games to ask questions. Instead of that, instead of playing certain games for question, use some memory games, use the important aspects. For example, here if I want you to remember this rule 7 into 7, what did I do? I have ensured that my PDF, I mean to say my PPT has more than 7 lines. and I have shown that my previous slide has more than 7 lines. Such kind of things can help audience to be attentive, and audience may say, sir, your slide, previous slide, it has more than 7 lines and you are claiming 7 into 7. So here, my audience, which I have spoken today, people who have been listening to me, they will never forget this concept called 7 into 7 lines. Now, this point here, once again, I would like to repeat: the concentration span of all the human being cannot be more than 7 minutes. It has been proven by science, and it has been proven by certain poetess as well. I remember a great poetess in Maharashtra, Bahina Bahi Chaudhary. She had one poem, I guess, and she said that मन वढाय वढाय उभ्या पिकातला ढोरा. This is Marathi actually. She says that we don't have control on the mind. It's like a stray, what do you say, stray cattle. बैल है, गाय है, जो घूमते रहते हैं ना, जो आपका अनाज जो होता है उसको बीच में खाते रहता है, अब उसको कितनी बार वापस लेके आइए वो वापस उधर चला जाता है. सिमिलरली माइंड, आप कितना भी बढ़िया ट्रेनिंग दे दो, आपके ऑडियंस को बीच में कोई मूवी याद आएगी, कोई दोस्त की याद आएगी, कोई बाहर क्रिकेट खेल रहा है उसकी याद आएगी, क्रिकेट मैच के बारे में सोचेंगे, वो आईपीएल मैच के बारे में सोचेंगे, 7 मिनट बाद कॉन्सेंट्रेशन ऑटोमेटिक चला जाएगा. यू लिसन टू अ ग्रेट स्पीकर, स्टिल 7 मिनट के बाद वीडियो आप ज्यादा नहीं देख पाओगे, कॉन्सेंट्रेशन ऑटोमेटिक चला जाएगा. So here in this scenario, as a trainer, it's your duty, it's your responsibility to have certain numbers, certain jokes, certain stories, certain examples by history, certain examples of corporate life, and certain examples of current scenarios. You might have seen that in the first training session, I have given you certain examples which are related to current scenarios. That is all about the war between Russia and Ukraine. That's not only a war between two countries, but it is the war for the world, because many people will be suffering because of inflation. So when I talk about inflation, what is inflation then? Inflation is all about increasing the cost price of any particular thing. Today that is not the topic, but I have given that example. If that is relevant to the topic, then only use such kind of examples. Use such examples to bring back the attention of the people to your topic, and ensure that your topic should be interesting. Even though it is not interesting, you can make it more interesting using certain examples. Now, most probably, if these examples of current affairs, people can relate it to their personal lives. I have heard that there are many motivational trainers, they conduct motivational training sessions. Amazing. We get motivated for certain time, and later on, motivation goes puncture automatically. It goes puncture automatically, because motivational trainers, most of the time, they let us know what is extrinsic motivation. They give us the example of Sachin Tendulkar, they give us the example of Maria Sharapova. These are the favorite people actually. They give us the example. But can you believe, if I give you the examples which are people from overseas nations, and we haven't heard about them? Sometimes the audience may get motivated up to certain level, but if I give the example from audience, if I give the example of particular district, region, or a state which belong to the audience will remember it for a long time. So ensure that to give the example for a long time. Let me give you another example. If I have to conduct a training for motivation, I may design my motivational skill presentation or a PPT, and I would like to add certain videos. And where can I get the videos? Either I have to make the videos, but I don't have that much time. So YouTube is my best friend. So what do? I go there and I type motivational videos, and I find certain motivational videos, but the names or the characters appeared in the motivational videos, those are from no, those are from other countries. So people will never get motivated. They may get motivated, but up to certain extent, not more than that. But if I use the examples which are if I use the characters which are Indian, Maharashtrian, or our characters, then they will definitely get motivated. If I speak more about Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, if I speak more about Shivaji Maharaj, believe me, people will listen to you and they may get motivated. So use the examples, use the fact and figure carefully, so that people will have long term impact, long lasting impact about the content which you have. Sometimes the content has to be designed by you, and sometimes content will be given by someone else. So if content has been given by someone else, then you need to have practice before delivering a presentation. Now, believe me, when I came to know that I have to conduct a training session on a presentation skills, I even didn't open this presentation. I didn't open this slideshow. I opened it 10 or 15 minutes before starting a training session. Why? The reason is simple. This content was my own content. Therefore, I know what is there in the content and what has to be spoken about. But let us assume that this content has been designed by YouTube, google.com, or some other trainers, and I have to follow that content. In that case, what do I need to do? I need to have practice. I need to read it a night before or a day before, and I have to ensure that I read and understand the things. Then only I will be able to explain. For example, if this is the content designed by someone else, and this is the rule 7 into 7, to be frank, I have no idea. And I forgot to read about this, and I started running this PPT because I didn't have a time. And students or listeners, everyone who is watching this PPT or who is paying attention towards the PPT may say, sir, what is 7 into 7 rule? You have missed this rule. Now I'm in a trouble. Therefore, ensure that if your PPT has been designed by you, that is the great achievement. And if this PPT has been designed by someone else, then you have to be careful. You have to read each and every line carefully. You have to read each and every aspect carefully. Presentation is all about selling your views. It is all about selling your knowledge. It is all about making people believing your views. And it is all about convincing people with your thought process. That's a presentation. It can be fun. I believe that training is a best way. My passion is training. My product is training. Everything is training. Training includes the presentation skills. Therefore, I enjoy it a lot. Maybe a presentation for teachers, staff, the youngsters, presentation for government employees, the corporate employees, whatever the presentation is, I always enjoy. I want you to follow this PPT. I'll be sharing this PPT. Only the thing is that it doesn't have this next points which I've added. It is not included. So if you can share the, I mean to say, if you can take a screenshot, you can do the same thing. Or if you want to have PPT later on, I can share it to you. Now the time is almost up. Would like to say sorry due to some small misunderstanding. I thought that the session has been given is only for a minute. I mean to say 1 hour, because as per the calendar it was showing that at 11 o'clock there was a different session. So I thought that that is my mistake. I should have asked sir. So that was my mistake. But still, the blank time which went away, we have covered by understanding how to design your own content. I have told you how to use the options of translating content and many things. In a chat box there were some questions as well. I would like to check if any question is pending. Okay, so the questions are not pending, I guess. Most of the questions, every question has been covered. Still, if anyone has any doubt, if anyone would like me to repeat certain things, if anyone wants to know more, please let me know, and we'll understand more things by your questions as well. Any question do you have? Because time is almost over. Any question do you have? Okay, Deepali ma'am has a question. Deepali, you may unmute yourself and ask me if you have any question, or you may type it in a chat box as well.